The Stoic path to unshakable respect, mastering emotional independence and self-worth. In a world that often equates dominance with respect and fleeting validation with genuine connection, a timeless philosophy offers a profound alternative: Stoicism. This ancient school of thought, far from advocating cold indifference, illuminates the path to unshakable self-worth, emotional independence, and the kind of respect that is earned through unwavering character, not demanded through manipulation or fear. This essay delves into the practical application of Stoic principles in modern relationships, particularly focusing on a powerful move, walking away, and how it can instantly command respect. We will explore the psychological impact of this decision, not as a manipulative tactic, but as a powerful assertion of self-worth, emotional detachment, and a commitment to a life lived in alignment with one's deepest values. It's a journey into understanding how to become the kind of man or woman who inspires genuine admiration, not through superficial charm or fleeting success, but through the consistent embodiment of integrity, strength, and unwavering self-respect. The journey of a high-value individual navigating complex relational dynamics, and how the principles of Stoicism provide the framework for achieving unshakable self-respect and genuine connection with others, rooted in a foundation of emotional independence and personal growth. The pursuit of respect is a fundamental human desire. From the earliest days of civilization, individuals have sought the approval and admiration of their peers, striving to gain recognition for their achievements, character, and contributions to society. However, in a world that is increasingly characterized by superficiality, fleeting trends, and the relentless pursuit of external validation, it is becoming more and more difficult to discern the difference between genuine respect and the hollow echoes of temporary approval. Far too often, individuals sacrifice their values, compromise their integrity, and engage in manipulative behaviors in an attempt to curry favor with others, only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of dependence and self-doubt. Genuine respect is not something that can be demanded or coerced. It is something that must be earned through consistent actions, unwavering commitment to one's values, and a deep understanding of self-worth. In the realm of relationships, this principle holds particular weight. How one navigates the complexities of connection, vulnerability, and personal boundaries directly impacts the level of respect one receives from a partner. The initial attraction that draws two individuals together may be based on physical appearance, shared interests, or a superficial level of compatibility. However, as the relationship deepens and the initial infatuation fades, the true foundation of respect begins to emerge. It is in the day-to-day interactions, the handling of conflicts, the consistent demonstration of empathy and support, and the unwavering commitment to personal growth that respect is either cultivated or eroded. The cornerstone of earning respect lies in the cultivation of emotional independence. This is not to be confused with emotional detachment, which implies a cold or indifferent approach to relationships. Emotional independence, in the context of Stoicism, refers to the ability to maintain one's emotional equilibrium regardless of the actions or opinions of others. It is the understanding that one's worth and happiness are not contingent upon external validation, but rather are rooted in an internal sense of self-assurance and purpose. Individuals who are emotionally independent are able to engage in relationships from a place of strength and authenticity, without feeling the need to manipulate, control, or seek constant reassurance from their partners. Emotional independence fosters a sense of stability and security within the relationship, as both individuals are able to rely on their own internal resources to navigate challenges and maintain a sense of well-being. This, in turn, cultivates a deeper level of respect, as each partner recognizes and appreciates the other's capacity for self-reliance and emotional maturity. The ability to regulate one's own emotions and not depend on a partner for constant validation or happiness is a sign of strength and maturity, and it fosters a healthier dynamic of mutual respect. One of the most challenging, yet profoundly powerful, ways to demonstrate emotional independence is the willingness to walk away from a relationship that no longer aligns with one's values or serves one's best interests. This is not a decision to be taken lightly, and it should not be used as a manipulative tactic to punish or control a partner. Rather, it is a courageous act of self-respect, a clear declaration that one's worth and well-being are not negotiable. The decision to walk away often triggers a profound shift in the dynamics of the relationship, forcing the other partner to confront the reality of their actions and the potential consequences of their behavior. It is in this moment of realization that respect is either ignited or lost forever. If the partner is capable of introspection and self-awareness, they may recognize the value of what they have lost and begin to take steps to repair the relationship. However, if they are unwilling or unable to acknowledge their shortcomings, the decision to walk away becomes a catalyst for personal growth and a pathway to healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. The willingness to walk away is not a sign of weakness or failure, but a testament to one's strength, integrity, and unwavering commitment to self-worth. It sends a powerful message that one is not willing to settle for less than they deserve, and that they value their well-being above all else. When you step away from a relationship, especially after investing significant time, effort, and emotional energy, it initiates a cascade of emotional and psychological responses in your partner. The initial reaction is often disbelief, denial, or even anger. They may attempt to dismiss your decision as a temporary outburst, a manipulative tactic, or a sign of weakness. They may try to guilt you into staying, appealing to your sense of obligation, loyalty, or fear of being alone. However, as the reality of your absence begins to sink in, a deeper sense of unease and introspection often emerges. The absence of your presence creates a void in their life, a space where your emotional support, stability, and companionship once resided. They may begin to replay memories of your time together, dissecting their actions and words, searching for clues as to why the relationship deteriorated. They may start to question their own worthiness, wondering if they were truly deserving of your love and affection. This period of introspection can be incredibly painful, as it forces them to confront their own shortcomings, insecurities, and patterns of behavior that may have contributed to the breakdown of the relationship. It is in this crucible of self-reflection that true growth and transformation can occur. However, the journey from denial to acceptance is rarely linear, and it is often fraught with emotional turmoil. One of the most common defense mechanisms that individuals employ when faced with the prospect of losing a relationship is to project an image of indifference or even happiness. They may flood their social media feeds with pictures of themselves enjoying life, surrounded by friends, or engaging in exciting new activities. They may attempt to convince themselves and others that they are better off without you, that your absence has liberated them from stifling or unfulfilling relationship. However, beneath this facade of happiness often lies a deep sense of unease and insecurity. The need to constantly project an image of well-being is often a sign that they are struggling to cope with the reality of their loss. They may be attempting to mask their pain with external distractions, hoping that the noise and activity will drown out the quiet voice of regret that is beginning to stir within them. This is not to say that they are consciously deceiving themselves or others. Rather, they are engaging in a subconscious attempt to protect themselves from the full weight of their emotions. It is a way of postponing the inevitable reckoning with the reality of their situation. However, as time passes and the initial shock begins to fade, the carefully constructed facade often begins to crumble, revealing the vulnerability and uncertainty that lies beneath. The true impact of your absence often becomes most apparent in the quiet moments of solitude. When the distractions fade and the noise of the world quiets down, the void that you have left behind can become deafening. Memories of shared experiences, inside jokes, and intimate moments may begin to surface, triggering a wave of nostalgia and regret. They may find themselves replaying conversations in their mind, wondering if they could have said or done something differently to salvage the relationship. They may start to notice your absence in the routines of their daily life, the empty space beside them in bed, the lack of a familiar voice on the other end of the phone, the absence of your presence at social gatherings or family events. These seemingly small reminders can serve as powerful triggers, amplifying the sense of loss and prompting a deeper level of introspection. They may begin to realize that your presence in their life was more significant than they had previously acknowledged. They may start to appreciate the qualities that they had taken for granted, your unwavering support, your patient understanding, your ability to make them laugh, your shared values and aspirations. It is in these moments of quiet contemplation that the true weight of their loss begins to dawn on them. The realization that they have lost something truly valuable can often lead to a period of intense self-reflection and introspection. They may begin to examine their own patterns of behavior in relationships, searching for clues as to why things went wrong. They may start to question their own worthiness, wondering if they are truly capable of sustaining a healthy and fulfilling relationship. They may begin to confront their own insecurities, fears, and unresolved emotional issues that may have contributed to the breakdown of the relationship. This process of self-discovery can be incredibly painful, as it forces them to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves. They may have to acknowledge their own flaws, shortcomings, and patterns of behavior that have been detrimental to their relationships. They may have to take responsibility for their actions and the role they played in the demise of the relationship. However, this period of self-reflection can also be incredibly transformative. It can provide them with the insight and awareness they need to break free from destructive patterns and begin to cultivate healthier relationships in the future. It can also lead to a deeper understanding of themselves, their values, and their needs in a relationship. It is important to note that the emotional and psychological responses that individuals experience after a breakup are highly variable and depend on a multitude of factors, including their personality, their attachment style, their past experiences, and the specific circumstances of the relationship. Some individuals may be able to move on quickly and easily, while others may struggle to cope with the loss for a prolonged period of time. There is no right or wrong way to feel after a breakup, and it is important to allow oneself the time and space to process the emotions that arise. However, regardless of the specific emotions that are experienced, the principles of Stoicism can provide a valuable framework for navigating the challenges of heartbreak and loss. By focusing on what is within one's control, cultivating emotional independence, and embracing the opportunity for personal growth, individuals can emerge from the experience stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. The key is to approach the situation with a Stoic mindset, recognizing that setbacks are inevitable, but that one's response to those setbacks is what ultimately determines their character and their destiny. In the wake of a breakup, the tendency to romanticize the past and idealize the lost relationship is a common phenomenon. Memories of happy moments, shared experiences, and intimate connections may become magnified, while the challenges, conflicts, and unresolved issues that contributed to the breakdown of the relationship fade into the background. This selective recall can create a distorted perception of the past, leading to a sense of longing and regret. Individuals may find themselves wondering if they made a mistake by ending the relationship, if they could have done something differently to salvage it, or if they will ever find someone who can replicate the unique connection they shared with their former partner. It is important to recognize that this romanticized version of the past is often an inaccurate representation of reality. It is a product of selective memory and emotional filtering, designed to protect oneself from the full weight of the pain and disappointment associated with the breakup. While it is natural to reminisce about the good times, it is crucial to maintain a balanced perspective and avoid idealizing the relationship to the point where it becomes an unattainable standard for future relationships. The inclination to compare new relationships to the idealized memory of a past relationship is a common pitfall that can hinder the development of healthy and fulfilling connections. When individuals hold on to an unrealistic expectation of what a relationship should be, They may find themselves constantly searching for qualities or experiences that replicate the perceived perfection of the past. This can lead to disappointment and dissatisfaction with new partners, as they are inevitably measured against an unattainable standard. It is important to recognize that every relationship is unique and that no two individuals will ever connect in exactly the same way. Rather than striving to replicate the past, it is more productive to focus on appreciating the unique qualities and potential of each new relationship. By approaching new connections with an open mind and a willingness to embrace the present moment, individuals can create opportunities for genuine connection and lasting happiness. The ability to let go of the past and embrace the present is a key element of Stoic wisdom and a vital ingredient for cultivating healthy and fulfilling relationships. As time passes and individuals move forward with their lives, the lessons learned from past relationships can become invaluable tools for navigating future connections. The ability to recognize red flags, communicate needs effectively, establish healthy boundaries, and cultivate emotional independence can significantly enhance the quality of future relationships. By reflecting on past experiences and identifying patterns of behavior that were either beneficial or detrimental, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their needs in a relationship. This self-awareness can empower them to make more informed choices about who they choose to partner with and how they approach the challenges of intimacy and commitment. Furthermore, the principles of Stoicism can provide a framework for cultivating a more resilient and emotionally stable approach to relationships. By focusing on what is within one's control, embracing the inevitability of change, and cultivating a sense of inner peace, individuals can navigate the complexities of love and partnership with greater wisdom, grace, and emotional maturity. The power of emotional detachment, often misunderstood as coldness or indifference, is actually a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a vital ingredient for cultivating healthy and fulfilling relationships. Emotional detachment, in the context of Stoicism, refers to the ability to maintain a sense of emotional equilibrium regardless of the actions or opinions of others. It is not about suppressing emotions or avoiding intimacy, but rather about cultivating a sense of inner peace and self-assurance that is not contingent upon external validation. Individuals who practice emotional detachment are able to engage in relationships with greater clarity, objectivity, and resilience. They are less likely to be swayed by emotional manipulation, less likely to become entangled in drama and conflict, and more likely to maintain a sense of perspective during challenging times. This, in turn, fosters a deeper level of respect from their partners, as they are seen as individuals who are strong, stable, and emotionally self-sufficient. Emotional detachment allows individuals to approach relationships from a place of strength and authenticity, rather than from a place of neediness or dependence. It empowers them to make choices that are aligned with their values and best interests, without being swayed by fear, guilt, or obligation. In the realm of relationships, the ability to detach emotionally can be particularly valuable during times of conflict or crisis. When disagreements arise, individuals who are emotionally detached are better able to remain calm, rational, and objective. They are less likely to become defensive, reactive, or emotionally overwhelmed. They can listen attentively to their partner's perspective, communicate their own needs clearly and respectfully, and work collaboratively to find solutions that are mutually beneficial. This approach to conflict resolution fosters a sense of trust and respect within the relationship, as both partners feel heard, understood, and valued. Furthermore, the ability to detach emotionally can help individuals to avoid becoming entangled in destructive patterns of behavior, such as codependency, emotional manipulation, or passive aggression. By maintaining a sense of emotional independence, they are able to set healthy boundaries, protect their own well-being, and avoid being drawn into toxic or dysfunctional dynamics. Emotional detachment, therefore, is not about avoiding emotions, but about mastering them, channeling them in constructive ways, and using them as a source of strength and resilience. The willingness to prioritize one's own well-being and happiness is a key element of Stoic philosophy and a crucial ingredient for cultivating healthy and fulfilling relationships. This is not to be confused with selfishness or disregard for the needs of others. Rather, it is about recognizing that one cannot effectively care for others if one is not first taking care of oneself. Individuals who prioritize their own well-being are better able to maintain a sense of emotional balance, physical health, and mental clarity. This, in turn, allows them to engage in relationships with greater energy, enthusiasm, and compassion. They are less likely to become burned out, resentful, or emotionally depleted. They are also more likely to attract partners who are healthy, stable, and emotionally mature. In the realm of relationships, prioritizing one's own well-being can involve setting healthy boundaries, pursuing personal goals and interests, and engaging in activities that promote joy and fulfillment. It can also involve seeking support from friends, family, or therapists when needed. The key is to cultivate a sense of self-care and self-compassion, recognizing that one's own needs and desires are just as valid and important as those of one's partner. Walking away from a situation, relationship, or environment that consistently undermines one's well-being is not an act of weakness, but rather a powerful act of self-respect. It is a clear declaration that one's worth and happiness are not negotiable and that one is not willing to settle for less than they deserve. This decision can be incredibly difficult, especially when there are strong emotional attachments or external pressures to stay. However, clinging to a toxic or dysfunctional situation can have devastating consequences for one's mental, emotional, and physical health. It can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. It can also prevent one from pursuing opportunities for growth, fulfillment, and happiness. When faced with a situation that is consistently draining, demoralizing, or abusive, walking away is often the most courageous and empowering choice one can make. It is a way of reclaiming one's power, setting healthy boundaries, and creating space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships and opportunities to emerge. Walking away is not a sign of failure, but a testament to one's strength, resilience, and unwavering commitment to self-preservation. In a world that often equates success with material wealth, external validation, and social status, the Stoic philosophy offers a refreshing alternative: inner peace. Stoicism teaches that true happiness and fulfillment are not to be found in external circumstances, but rather in the cultivation of inner virtue, self-control, and a sense of purpose. This is not to say that material possessions or social connections are inherently bad. Rather, it is about recognizing that these things are ultimately transient and unreliable sources of happiness. True happiness comes from within, from the ability to accept what is beyond one's control, to focus on what is within one's power, and to live in alignment with one's values. In the realm of relationships, this means cultivating a sense of emotional independence, prioritizing one's own well-being, and seeking connections that are based on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. It also means being willing to walk away from situations that undermine one's inner peace, recognizing that one's own happiness is worth more than any external reward or validation. The pursuit of inner peace is a lifelong journey, but it is a journey that is well worth undertaking. For it is in the cultivation of inner peace that one finds the true source of strength, resilience, and enduring happiness. The Stoic individual seeks to understand and accept the nature of reality, including the fact that change is inevitable, loss is unavoidable, and suffering is a part of the human condition. Rather than resisting these realities, the Stoic embraces them, recognizing that they are opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. This acceptance of reality does not imply passive resignation or a lack of ambition. Rather, it is about cultivating a sense of inner peace and equanimity that allows one to navigate the challenges of life with greater wisdom, grace, and resilience. It is about recognizing that one cannot control external events, but one can control one's response to those events. By focusing on what is within one's power, cultivating inner virtue, and embracing the inevitability of change, the Stoic individual can find a sense of peace and fulfillment that is not dependent on external circumstances. This acceptance of reality extends to relationships, where the Stoic individual understands that conflicts, disagreements, and even breakups are a normal part of the human experience. Rather than clinging to unrealistic expectations or becoming emotionally devastated by setbacks, the Stoic approaches relationships with a sense of realism, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. The principles of Stoicism are as relevant today as they were in ancient Greece and Rome. In a world that is increasingly characterized by stress, anxiety, and uncertainty, the Stoic philosophy offers a timeless framework for cultivating inner peace, resilience, and a sense of purpose. By focusing on what is within one's control, embracing the inevitability of change, and cultivating inner virtue, individuals can navigate the challenges of modern life with greater wisdom, grace, and emotional maturity. The Stoic approach to relationships, in particular, can provide a valuable framework for cultivating healthy, fulfilling, and mutually respectful connections. By prioritizing emotional independence, setting healthy boundaries, and embracing the opportunity for personal growth, individuals can create relationships that are based on trust, communication, and shared values. The Stoic path to unshakable respect is not an easy one, but it is a path that leads to a life of greater meaning, purpose, and enduring happiness. The principles of Stoicism offer a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of human relationships and achieving unshakable self-respect. By embracing emotional independence, setting healthy boundaries, and prioritizing personal growth, individuals can cultivate relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. The willingness to walk away from situations that undermine one's well-being is not an act of weakness, but rather a powerful declaration of self-worth. It is a reminder that one's happiness is not contingent upon external validation, but rather is rooted in an internal sense of self-assurance and purpose. By living in alignment with one's values, cultivating inner virtue, and embracing the inevitability of change, individuals can create lives that are filled with meaning, purpose, and enduring happiness. In the realm of relationships, this means approaching connections with a sense of realism, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. It means being willing to communicate needs effectively, set healthy boundaries, and walk away from situations that are not conducive to one's well-being. The Stoic path to unshakable respect is not an easy one, but is a path that leads to a life of greater authenticity, fulfillment, and enduring happiness. The journey of self-discovery and personal growth is a lifelong endeavor, but it is a journey that is well worth undertaking. For it is in the cultivation of inner virtue and the pursuit of wisdom that one finds the true source of strength, resilience, and unshakable respect. The Stoic individual understands that external circumstances are ultimately beyond one's control, but that one's response to those circumstances is what truly defines their character and their destiny.